Dreamers and immigrants like them who give everything they can to our country deserve a path to legal status. The fact is, their future is our future. As I mentioned, the budget reconciliation package the Senate's expected to vote on soon contains President Biden's Build Back Better plan, a blueprint for our nation to mount an enduring economic recovery, providing a path to legal status for undocumented immigrants. Let me say that another way. Immigration reform will drive our nation's economic recovery for years to come. A pathway to legal status for dreamers, TPS recipients, and essential workers could boost our nation's GDP by $1.5 trillion over the next 10 years. $1.5 trillion. Additionally, a path to legalization could create 400,000 new jobs and increase every American's annual wage by an estimated $600. How can that be? Putting these immigrants to work on the payroll, how could that help other people?
En este video les comparto un discurso del senador Durbin, que es el jefe de la Comisión Judiciaria del Senado y es uno de los senadores que más apoya la reforma migratoria. Él menciona que en los próximos días sus propuestas ya van a ser presentadas a la parlamentaria del Senado. Él menciona que los inmigrantes aportan grandemente a la economía de los Estados Unidos de América, que son profesionales en todas las áreas, tales como doctores, abogados, enfermeras, profesores, ingenieros en todas las ramas de trabajo. Tal es así que los Dreamers, gracias al permiso de trabajo que tienen, pudieron estar al frente de la crisis de salud. También él menciona que esos doctores salvaron muchas vidas y merecen ser reconocidos dándoles la residencia. Igualmente él dice que hay miles y miles de inmigrantes muy bien educados, profesionales, listos para integrarse a la fuerza laboral de los Estados Unidos en sus respectivas profesiones. El senador Durbin menciona que muchos inmigrantes son buenos empresarios alrededor de todo el país y él reconoce el aporte que esto representa para los Estados Unidos. También el senador dice que todos los profesionales, una vez que tengan su permiso para laborar, ellos empezarán a contribuir grandemente al sistema con sus impuestos, taxes, income taxes. Igualmente contribuirán al seguro social o Medicare, que a la fecha está en una gran crisis financiera. El senador hace referencia a los Dreamers, ya que son los mejores trabajadores en sus profesiones. Menciona que la anterior administración trató de eliminar el programa DACA, dejando a los Dreamers en una situación muy crítica. También él menciona que gracias a la Corte Suprema este programa pudo salvarse, pero que ya es hora de darle una solución definitiva. También el senador Durbin dice que esta semana posiblemente el plan del presidente Biden llamado de infraestructura humana, y es un plan de recuperación económica de ayuda social que rebajará impuestos a los trabajadores más pobres. También proveerá un camino a la ciudadanía para miles y miles de inmigrantes. Él también lo dijo, dentro de este plan están las propuestas migratorias para que muchos Dreamers, DACAs, TPS, trabajadores esenciales y trabajadores agrícolas. La reforma migratoria ayudará grandemente al crecimiento de la economía de los Estados Unidos en los próximos 10 años, él menciona. Con el camino a la ciudadanía se creará inmediatamente 400,000 nuevas fuentes de empleo. Se mejorarán los salarios de todos los estadounidenses. El senador Durbin menciona que el presidente Biden emitió un informe recientemente donde menciona que aprobando la reforma migratoria el país se fortalecerá económicamente. El senador dice que si no se aprueba las propuestas migratorias del Senado, se está dejando de recibir billones y trillones de dólares por conceptos de impuestos, honorarios, tarifas suplementarias que esta reforma migratoria contribuiría, ya que los Estados Unidos actualmente necesita dinero para su recuperación económica. El senador Durbin dice que los problemas económicos actuales que tiene el país se podrán solucionar únicamente aprobando la reforma migratoria. El senador Durbin dice que para algunos inmigrantes los Estados Unidos es su casa, ya que viven aquí por muchos años. Mi gente, mi raza, mis paisas y en general a todos mis seguidores, esta vez creo que algo bueno va a pasar, aunque limitado, pero hay que esperar hasta ver toda la propuesta y lo más importante, cuántos años ellos van a requerir que viva un aplicante en los Estados Unidos. Esperemos que la mayor cantidad de gente pueda incluirlos. Tenga mucha fe, ya que faltan pocos días. En fin, no se estrese, no se preocupe, mantenga la calma, que todo saldrá bien.
Whether these folks arrived in our country a few years ago or a few generations ago, these families contribute to the economic vitality of the city of Chicago every day. Little Village that we visited is a major economic engine in Chicago. That 2-mile stretch of 26th Street is the second highest grossing shopping district in all of Chicago. And those family-run businesses generate nearly $1 billion in sales each year. Bilingual communities like Little Village make America richer, stronger, culturally and economically. They're living proof that immigrants are still an essential part of America's future. And there are millions of people who've been contributing to our economy and our communities for years, but they've been left behind by our broken immigration system. That's exactly what the presiding officer and I, along with many of our colleagues in the Democratic caucus, that's exactly what we're trying to include is an immigration reform in the Build Back Better package that will come before the Senate in the coming days. Let me tell you about one of these immigrants that we're focused on. Roughly 10 miles south of where Senator Padilla and I toured Little Village, there's a trauma center, Advocate Christ Medical Center. It's one of the busiest in Chicago's South Side. One of the doctors who recently completed his residency in that trauma center is Dr. Manuel Bernal Meja. During this pandemic, Dr. Bernal has been saving lives every day in the emergency room. He cared for Chicagoans at all stages of life, from delivering babies to providing comfort to patients during their last moments. And he's cared for more COVID patients than he can count. It is in our country that Dr. Bernal works every day to take care of our friends and loved ones. It is in our country that Dr. Bernal graduated from college and medical school. And it's in our country that Dr. Bernal has lived since he was 2 years old. Despite that, Dr. Bernal, who is now an emergency room physician in nearby Rockford, has still been left behind by our broken immigration system, and there are thousands more just like him. According to the definition established by former President Trump, there are more than 200,000 DACA recipients that have served as, quote, essential critical infrastructure workers during the pandemic. That includes more than 40,000 healthcare workers like Dr. Bernal. Some of them work in emergency rooms like him, others as nurses, paramedics, respiratory therapists. So let's ask a basic question when it comes to immigration. Would America be better? Would Illinois be better? Would Chicago be better without Dr. Bernal? All of the dreamers who are working every day to save American lives in our hospitals? I don't think so. For dreamers like Dr. Bernal, DACA has been a lifeline. It's given them a chance to give back to the only home they've ever known. But we all know DACA is not a permanent solution. The reality is dreamers have been standing on shaky ground for far too long. These young people are the best. They defend us as members of our military, care for our parents and family members as home health aides, and they teach our children in school. But because Congress has failed to fix our broken immigration system, dreamers with DACA can only plan their lives in 2-year increments. And every day they live in fear that the rug's going to be pulled out from under them any moment. It happened under President Trump. He tried to eliminate the program. It was finally saved at the highest court in the land across the street, in the Supreme Court. Dreamers and immigrants like them who give everything they can to our country deserve a path to legal status. The fact is, their future is our future. As I mentioned, the budget reconciliation package the Senate's expected to vote on soon contains President Biden's Build Back Better plan, a blueprint for our nation to mount an enduring economic recovery. The proposals included in that plan would supercharge our economy by cutting taxes for working families, making childcare, healthcare, and transportation more affordable, providing a path to legal status for undocumented immigrants. Let me say that another way. Immigration reform will drive our nation's economic recovery for years to come. A pathway to legal status for dreamers, TPS recipients, and essential workers could boost our nation's GDP by $1.5 trillion over the next 10 years. $1.5 trillion. Additionally, a path to legalization could create 400,000 new jobs and increase every American's annual wage by an estimated $600. How can that be? Putting these immigrants to work on the payroll, how could that help other people? Because we have a dynamic economy, and what we saw on 26th Street in Chicago can be replicated over and over again if these new immigrants are given a chance to work hard, as they all do, show their skills, and build the economy around them. Our nation's leaving billions, if not trillions of dollars on the table by failing to fix our broken immigration system. Earlier this month, the White House published a report that found that providing a path to permanent legal status would, quote, allow currently unauthorized immigrants to pursue and accept jobs for which their skills are well suited. Many of these immigrants are of prime working age, which means they can help grow our nation's tax base for the foreseeable future. That's money that can go towards shoring up Social Security, Medicare, and funding our nation's priorities. In fact, leading economists have argued that America needs immigrants to keep these programs solvent. In the words of Mark Zandi, Moody's chief economist, the United States is, quote, not going to be able to address our fiscal problems if we don't change our policy with regard to immigration. He's not alone. Other economists agree. Douglas Holtz-Aiken, president of the right-leaning American Action Forum, has argued that in the absence of immigration, America will, quote, shrink in population, become older, less important on the world stage. With the Build Back Better plan, this Senate is finally taking up the important work of investing in America's future. That means building railroads, transit networks, and connecting communities, providing funding for high-quality child care so every parent can have a safe place to leave their child during the workday. And it also means providing immigrant families a stable footing they need to contribute to our future. For these families, make no mistake, America is home. And every day they help to make our communities better and our economy stronger. That's the case we plan on making to the Senate parliamentarian once again. This is the first opportunity we've had in a long, long time to begin building an immigration system that works for America. And for our own sake, I hope we can get it done.